Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something, here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormveil Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind. I see. Here to challenge Godric and lay your hands upon a great rune, are you? You can see it then, I take it. The guidance of grace. Well, enjoy it while you can. I'm tarnished, like you. But unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor hair of this guidance for the longest time. Still, I won't forget how it felt when I first came here, to the lands between. I'm privy to a few magical battle arts. Would you care to learn one? As a fellow tarnished, once guided by grace, I'd love to help you out, if it please. Oh, keen to learn another...
Be proud. You were a fine warrior. Your only mistake was your choice of master. Well, who do we have here? Tarnished, are you? Clearly not one of Godric's lot. I am Nefeli Lu. Tarnished and warrior, like you. I'm here by decree of my father. How utterly repellent this is. This grafting of Godric's ill befits a lord. He's tainted the very winds. If you intend to challenge Godric, I ask you call upon me. The winds run foul with his deeds. I'm certain father would permit me aid the fight. Apologies, but I've idled long enough. As fellow Tarnished, we must each follow our own guidance, down whatever road takes us to the throne of Elden Lord. Apologies, as fellow down whatever...
Well, I took you for it no matter. Lay out your arm.
Mighty dragon. Thou art a true born
air. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. Lowly tarnished. Playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden. Truest of dragons. Lend me thy strength. trees of gold.
Greetings, my name is Rob. Isn't this around? I never knew, although I'm still looking. It's all a bit much. I'm still
Now, those are of a challenge if I them well. The girl you bought, she's crazy. She has it. I saw in their eyes. Back already, no matter.
It's all a bit much for me. I'm still You're telling me I don't believe you. If I do, I suppose I'll ask. Certainly, I know I can tell. If I suppose I'll ask Master.
Back already, no matter. The girl. Are you out of your food? Step absurd. I refuse to. I don't doubt.
If I do, I suppose I'll ask Matt.
Oh, well done. You bested God. I congratulate. Now, visit the Round Table Hold for an audience with the two fingers. Go to the Round Table Hold for an audience with the two fingers.
Are you? You've done kind. Let's great anchor until it was tragic across the far, but the great soul pray seek to become let the one. Well, okay is, and should you, I will the finger. Ah, the children tainted by the strength of their runes. Her children wore, and so grace was extended. Listen, the fingers speak. The greater will has long renounced the demi-tarnished. Show no mercy. Have their heads, indeed. The demigods are each, and Godric the Grafted was but a distant relation, the runt of the litter. His divine blood sorely diluted. Now go.
Good to see you again. I have you to thank. I can have I'm as yet. But if there's any chance, well, I search Roderica.
I didn't. I'll be doing my job. Just lay out your... Back already. No matter.
Hello? Is someone there? My name is Haya. If I might be so, would you donate? My eyesight is, but when I eat one of it will lead me. Oh, many. Now I can feel. You are most kind. May the blessing of... You are most kind. May the blessing of the...
You're new. Surprised you found me in my little... No matter. No, I don't... Oh, but don't...
What are you looking at? Trying to start?
You've had your own what? Aha. Your intuition serves you well. My doubts had been piling up, you see. The words of the Two Fingers cannot be trusted, truly. Naught but rambling, senile delusions. I believe that when the Elden Ring was shattered, the Two Fingers were corrupted, their guidance skewed. Even worse, the Fingers harbor no love for our kind. That's the part that irks the most. Oh, I have a means for give it a try. And if it please, I've high hope. Be sure to try. There's no reason to tarnish your loyalty. Be sure to try that finger I gave you. I'm quite certain that you'll take to it. Be sure to try. I'm quite certain.
Oh, it's default. Let's go with, see if I switch it there. Okay, I see feedback now. Yeah, my computer, and everything was like, it wasn't shut down properly because we lost power a couple days ago. And I guess I guess I didn't reconfigure my mic. Yeah, my mic is, it tries to go to default, and the default isn't what I have plugged in for my mic. So it tried to reset it to default. Appreciate you letting me know. Sir Night Knight is doing okay. What I was saying just a second ago was the character's not fully built. Like this right here, the Knight's gauntlets, I don't have enough endurance for it. Ate one of the power generators. That's what happens when you're a hungry Spino. But yeah, like I got the Staff of Loss, which gives a boost to invisibility sorceries, the night sorceries. And I got a God, it has taken a long ass time to find a match. And I got a spell. It should be Night Comet. Yeah, I got Night Comet, but I need 38 int to be able to run it, and I'm sitting at 13 int. Which, like, for the most part, the build is centered around the Claymore right now. Later on, it'll be for a different weapon. Mostly the goal is to be running Lion's Claw as my main attack power, and the Staff of Loss to give me like a ranged option. Plus I can put cold infusions on the Lion's Claw, and it'll deal better damage with high intellect, since I have to get it up to like 38 in order to use the staff, or in order to use the spell. There's an invasion. Because I have to get it to 38 to use the spell, I might as well go for the soft cap to 40 in intelligence. I guess at that point, not as many people are playing. At this point, yeah, I feel like a lot of people that are playing Elden Ring have been playing Elden Ring. Like, Gino Machino, he's been playing a lot of the Night Rain stuff, because he has, like, access to the early access shit. I watched a video that he did where he beat all of the, god damn, he beat all of the character, like he beat every set of 4 nights for Night Rain, because it's 4 nights to beat the final boss, and then after the 4th night you go, like, you get your final rewards and all that. He's completed it with the 4 classes that they're currently allowing on the playtest servers. I watched that video last night. Most people are probably pretty hyped for that, and everybody's like doing something else or wanted to leave it to experience for the first time. I get that. 100% I get that. Yeah, last year everybody was hyped for the DLC. But like, there are channels, Tulok and Mango does a lot of like build videos and stuff. Can you beat Elden Ring as the Carrion Knight? Secret starting class is probably one of his favorites that he runs. But like, I like watching him, and he actually gave me an idea to do kind of a challenge run. So that's why I'm running the Night Knight. It's going to be a full night, but with night sorceries as like my backup ranged option. So like, I kind of got the idea from Tulok and Mango. Secret starting classes. Just give me what the overall structure idea of the game is. So for Night Rain, it is basically, it's 4 days on the map. It'll be different bosses and stuff, but there's certain game seeds where like the seed will get specific bosses and stuff like that, but the seeds are randomly generated. Like it'll be random which seed you get, and then you have to play for 4 nights, which is roughly about 45 minutes playtime, while the world is kind of burned in towards you. So you basically have to explore with 2 other people in trios.
D is enough.
And
We found ourselves journeying together.
you do the Elden Ring stuff.
Our exploration of death.
It feels more like some of the older versions of not older versions, but like some of the older Soulsborne types games. There's a bigger emphasis on the multiplayer. In fact, Night Rain is purely multiplayer. It's time limited. Like it's kind of like a mini version of what like Elden Ring is. You still explore and everything, but there's limitations. Like you'll start taking damage if you go too far outside of the fire zone and stuff like that. It has like some battle royale elements. It does rely on the multiplayer aspect. You're a trio. It is you and 2 other adventurers. It does rely on the multiplayer aspect, but it's not, as of right now, it's not a PvP mode. There's not invasions and stuff. It's predominantly PvE, which I assume later on they will expand it to where there are PvP typed battles, probably like head-to-heads, like who can clear the map faster, or clearing the map while also dealing with other people on the map. So it does rely kind of heavily on the multiplayer. It has some battle royale aspects, but I wouldn't say it's a battle royale. Like you're not getting dropped on the map with 3 other squads and fighting against each other to clear the map. As of right now, that's not how they have it structured, and it doesn't seem like they want to have it structured to where it's a battle royale. Like it's more leaning towards like short. It's like episodic adventures, short episodes, like an episode of a TV show, like a 30-minute or 45-minute sitcom or something, right? So it's like that. It's like Elden Ring, but condensed into like a sitcom almost. I don't even like that comparison, but I feel like that's kind of a somewhat accurate way to describe it. Or like it does have the battle royale elements, like the map does get smaller, but it doesn't really seem to be heavy PvP focused. It seems to be more PvE focused. But it does rely heavily on multiplayer. Like you need a squad or you're loading in with randoms. I was watching where some people were on Gino Machino that was doing the video that I watched last night, where he had people quit out of matches, but it doesn't fail them or anything. They just continue with just the 2 people that they had. So like it doesn't, like it leans on the PvE a little bit more than the multiplayer aspect, but it definitely plays a lot into the multiplayer aspect. I'm terribly sorry. What is it? A sitcom. A sitcom is basically just like it's a short term for a sit-down comedy. A sitcom would be something like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the old school TV shows like Charles in Charge or Dennis the Menace. There was like there was a sitcom based around Dennis the Menace at one point. Like it's basically just a lighthearted, episodic TV series that focuses around bringing the family together to sit down and enjoy a little bit of comedy. They're short windowed comedy frames, episodic mostly, not serialized, because like episodic means that at the beginning it's like The Simpsons, where The Simpsons, they could basically blow up the whole world, but at the beginning of the next episode everything's right back to normal. That's what we would call episodic. Every episode restarts at a 0 value, whereas serialized means that they go one after another. So if something happens in the first episode, they continue on from there in the next episode. It doesn't just start back over at 0. It starts over from where the last episode left off. It's in serialized order. Interesting topic. And I think I got a little bit off there, but... so I actually... I did do some digging on like the differences between episodic and serialized, because I liked the subject, and one time my ADHD got a hold of me and I decided to dig into it as much as I could, and I ended up finding out that earlier in TV, a lot of things were episodic, where like everything would reset to 0 at the beginning of every episode. A lot of stuff was very episodic in the beginning of what we would call the TV era. And we've kind of gotten a little bit more towards serialized. But something that we have found is that humans have short attention spans, right? And episodic is easier to follow for a short attention span because I don't have to remember what happened in the last episode. It's part of the reason why on serialized things, at the beginning, they'll have that little 5-minute part where it's like, last time on your favorite show. Because it's trying to get you to remember the previous stuff without going into great detail. That is something that a serialized tactic would use. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Futurama, but the show Futurama actually came out during a very weird time period for TV, where like The Simpsons was episodic. Every episode it would start over at 0, where with Futurama every episode was semi-episodic, but it was also semi-serialized, because a lot of the stuff that happened early in the show is referenced later in the show and was planned out from the beginning. Like, there are things that happen in like season 3 of Futurama that are referenced in the very first episode of Futurama, which is kind of a hint at serialization. However, they also kind of played into the episodic, where basically every episode tends to start somewhere around the office that the crew, Planet Express, works at. One of the common phrases at the beginning of a lot of episodes will be the professor, Professor Farnsworth, walking in. "Good news, everyone!" And he gives his little speech about what we're working on today and whatnot. But it is also semi-serialized, where like it does also kind of go into some detail of it does go into some detail in the future of the show, of like stuff that carries over between episodes. So it's somewhere in the middle. Futurama came around. There's a lot of other shows that actually did something similar, but Futurama was one major show that I really like, that also kind of came out and was created at a time frame where we were drifting away from episodic stuff and trying to give more serialized stuff. And Futurama just kind of teetered that line, and I think they did really well with it. They actually just started doing new stuff for Futurama that was picked up by Hulu. The major change elements, such as moving to a certain area, will be carried to the next episode, but they still have that basic ingredients to start with. Yes, yeah. So like, yeah. And there's some small stuff in Futurama where like it's. I don't know if you've ever seen Futurama, but at the very beginning of Futurama, Fry, the main character, is sitting in a chair delivering pizza to a prank call at a cryo lab, and he's sitting in a rocking chair, in a wooden chair, and he's rocking back and forth on the back 2 legs. You know how you do whenever you're in high school and you just kind of lean back on your on your back 2 legs. And he was doing that and sipping a beer, and he goes, "Here's to another lousy new year," because it's the New Year's. He's waiting on the ball to drop. Everybody's waiting on the celebration and everything. And at that very first episode, you can see a faint shadow underneath the table where Fry has his feet propped up and he's rocking in this chair. Well, he falls over in the chair and falls into the cryo freezer. And this sets him up, and it sets the stage for him traveling to the future, basically being frozen for 1,000 years. But there is a small shadow, and it's in the very first episode. There's a small shadow of a creature underneath the desk, but it's later on in the series, and we're talking like multiple seasons later. I don't remember exactly what season it shows up. What it actually shows what happened underneath that table and why Fry fell into the cryo container and was frozen. So like it was pre-planned from literally episode 1. The very first episode of Futurama, they had planned to have it as a hybrid episodic serialized series, which I think was really cool. Futurama probably has the most cancellations compared to its revivals than almost any other TV show has ever been created. They have tried to put that show out of its misery, but it's just such a good show, and it's the executives who have no fucking clue what they're doing that keep trying to kill this show, and it just keeps coming back. I think it did a lot of things really well, but that's kind of an example of how that kind of shakes out. Oh, you're good. No worries. I'm fixing to try and get me some more of these invasions, because it kind of sucks that I can't get another invasion. It's terrible. And now I have to go to the bathroom. It's funny, a lot of things should have been differently, but corporate executives with too much time and too much money keep making stupid decisions, and everybody else gets to suffer for it. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love men with power and money? Okay. We need to head to point 3. 3, yeah. If I can get over here without being attacked by massive fucking lobsters, we'll be good. I've been having my mic muted most of the day today. I'm actually almost done with what I was working on. I defeated Godric, the Grafted, and it only took me 3 tries. It should have went better than that, but to be honest, I've been moving through this pretty quickly, and probably haven't done as much preparation as I should have. So it's my own doing.
Be sure to try that. I'm quite certain.
All right, so I've got the +8 rapier, which should increase the group of people that I can join. So let's see, near and far. Just want to get in some matches and quit out so that I can unlock the XP farm area with the bird. The bird farm. There's a word that I don't want to say, but it's the walk off the cliff and remove yourself from existence bird. And it's a lot of free XP, so worth it. I believe I can fly. Yes, we're invading. Let's go. Take me away. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing. All right. Oh, Siofro River.
Hey!
Let's see if they I'm not even here to fight them, I just wanted to fuck with them. Well, this is unfortunate. I don't know where they are. And honestly, don't really care that much. Beep 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 boop boop. Yeah, I have no real interest in PvP. I'm a PvE player. I'm only doing this because it's the easiest way to get. And see, I went and got that +8. But I know somebody was either looking for a fight or shit themselves whenever I joined their world. And the funny part about that is, to me, I got no real need or want for the PvP. Dude, I'm straight PvE. But like, I know what I'm doing to the point where I was able to get me a good weapon. I was able to raid the town of Celia to get the night sorceries. I killed the Great Dragon Grail here for the extra runes. I got Gold Pickle Foulfoot from there, and then there was another one like right here, I think. Yeah, it was right there. Like I'm jamming out. I'm jamming out. I'm not a speed runner though.
Hey!
The funniest part about all this, I saw their names. The funniest part about this being, I have little to no interest in fighting.
Hey!
They're so confused. They said hello. How nice of them. They gave me their O face. Oh! Yeah, I figured going and picking up that +8, what's it called? The, rapier, Rajier's rapier. Grabbing that +8 weapon, just, I don't know why. Actually, I do have an idea, because it's a +8, and mine's a +5. So it gave me, like, more people to access. Look at that. Was that another invasion? Almost instantly. That's crazy. Yeah, Roger's Rapier, it increased my level enough that I was able to find matches easier. Homeboy's name is Mr. McStabby.
Hey!
I don't know where you're at, buddy. Oh, okay. Y'all have fun now, you hear? That is 3 invasions. I need 5, and then I need to go get... Do I have to use 3 or do I have to use 5? I think he wants us...
I'm glad. You have a tape. I wish to anoint a knight.
Yes! So you only need to do 3. I thought you needed to do all 5.
And establish a new dynasty.
Stormveil Castle. It was a struggle.
So, what do you say, my lambkin?
The first time I played it, it took me quite a struggle. This time, I literally ran straight through Stormveil just to beat Godric the Grafted, because he won't move further in his quest line until you take at least 1 Great Rune. Godric's is probably the easiest one to get, so I went ahead and got it. I literally ran through that whole Mistvale, or Stormveil. Like, I started Stormveil whenever I started this stream. I finished it probably, like, I'd say somewhere close to half an hour ago. So it took me roughly an hour just to run through that place. And the only thing I really got there was I got Godric the Grafted, but I also went up and got the Claw Talisman, because it kind of leans into my build a little bit. I got some other stuff I don't really plan on using right now, but... Okay. Well, he's given me the claw, and now I have to...
Is your final trial.
Soak it in the blood of a maiden.
Blood of a maiden.
I got an easy one for this.
Anyone's maiden will do. You are maidenless, after all.
Bitch keeps saying that, and I'm gonna enjoy killing him later on. Like, you just wait till I get my level up.
Is your final blood of
So, yeah, gotta soak the blood. A couple of places I could do this. You can go back to the beginning of the game. There's a bell tower, like, somewhere over here, I think. The 4 belfries. There's one that's all the way at the top. If you get the key, you can go through a door that'll take you all the way back to the starting area, which I think is over here. Yeah, this is the anticipation. This is where you fight the Grafted. And this is the cliff I jumped off of that respawned me over here. So there's Maiden Blood at the starting location, which you can get to through a teleporter. And then there's also this church up here. But in order to get here and get the Maiden's Blood, you have to go past this little shit box right here that has the Eye of Sauron that increases madness. Beat Mark after 6 tries. Yeah. Oh, I think it took me more than that. It was about 30 minutes, I'd say. I think it took me more than that. Godric. See, Godric doesn't feel as bad once you beat Margit. Especially if you're grinding out through Stormveil and you actually kill most of the stuff there. You'll get some good XP from that area. Stormveil was just a really fun castle overall. Yeah, FromSoft did great with those two. I agree. I wish I beat the Grafted at the start. It's so hard to beat the Grafted at the start. I've never done it. Like, it just, they don't really give you the tools to be able to beat it. Like, you basically need to be a no-hit champ in order to beat it. But if you ever wanted to go back, up here north of the school in Liurnia Lakes, it's in this clouded region. I can't see it right now. It's somewhere over here, I think. But it's the 4 belfries. And if you take the portal that's at the top of the tower, and there should be a message nearby that will say something about to the Church of Anticipation or something like that. If you take that portal, it'll take you back to the first area, and you can go hand him his ass. Me personally, because I want to get the Maiden's Blood as fast as possible, I know the easiest way to do it, and that's just to not... you just don't clear Castle Morn. If you clear Castle Morn, the final boss there's a girl right here that will disappear. Yeah, Stormveil was fun and definitely memorable. It reminded me so much of like platforming type games, because there's a lot of like jumping and moving around across rooftops and stuff if you're trying to go optimal routes. No! 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 Ah! It used to be that you could... I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong, but it used to be you could come here and... Did I accept her quest? Is that what I did wrong? If you kill her yourself, you can use her blood in order to... you can use her blood in order to complete the blood ritual that I need to do. Well, shit, I can't do that now. Fuck. Ah, that is the biggest bullshit. Alright, we gotta go, like, somewhere over here, I think. Oh, I just got screwed up. I don't even know what I did wrong. I did something wrong, because she's normally alive. She's normally alive. I thought you had to finish... I guess if you take the letter from her, because she... does she do anything important? She does 2 things. So, the girl that was dead there, she does 2 things. When you speak to her, she gives you a letter, and, yeah, so, yeah, I accepted the letter, and by doing that, it furthered her quest stage, so I shouldn't have accepted the letter from her. She wants you to take the letter to her father, down here in Castle Morn. So you get the letter from her here, and then you come down here to Castle Morn, and then you clear the boss. Once you clear the boss, her dad is sitting on, like, a ledge or something somewhere around the edge of the castle. I think it's somewhere on this back half. And once you clear the boss, he'll go there and try to meet up with his daughter, but she's dead. But apparently if you accept her quest, whether you finish Castle Morn or not, she's dead. Which really sucks, because I needed the blood of a maiden. And so that means there's only 2 other ways that I can get it right now. And that is we go through the madness, which, fuck that. Or we come over here to the 4 belfries, and we fast travel to the beginning of the game. Which is what's fixing to happen. I'm fixing to fast travel to the beginning of the game, and I'm gonna get her... I'm gonna get some Maiden's Blood from the Chapel of Anticipation. It's the only thing I can do now. I'm not dealing with no madness. I'm not built like that. It's annoying to deal with all that madness build up and stuff. I remember that when passing the casket, you'll see here, it's on the floor, a glowing blue line. No, the blue line is to kick you off of your horse. The blue line is just to say, this is as far as your horse can go. Blue lines are typically either a horse gate or an entrance to like a legacy dungeon. For this current situation, it's more likely that it's a quest trigger, and whenever you pick up her quest objective and then go to another location, oh shit, I didn't even see you there, big boy. I just wanted the blue item that was in the chair. Woo! Alright, item in the chair, and it was somber. Worth it. I'm out, dog. Yeah, madness is absolutely irritating as hell. You know, I would enjoy madness more if madness wasn't just a big fuck you in this game. Because madness in this game is like, you can get it. You can get madness, right? Oh shit, wrong way. Nope, nope. I wanna go to this little place right here, this little tower. But you can get madness, and other players, like for PvP, right? They can get madness. NPCs, they can't get madness. Monsters that you fight, they can't get madness. The only advantage madness has in this game is the fire damage is actually pretty good. Without that, madness would be absolutely useless in this game. Madness feels like a PvP implementation. Like, I'm just gonna say it like that. It doesn't feel like a solid mechanic for the game. Alright, so we're gonna do this here. And then we're gonna go up. Yeah, I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid the madness. Oh, there's nothing in there. Let's just keep going. Let's keep swimming. Let's keep swimming. Let's keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Look at the bloodstains. How did you die? Definitely falling off, right? You jumped to your death? You jumped, right? He thought he could make it. That's funny. Like, why not just teleport? There's a thing down there at the bottom. Yay, memory stones! Like, not even using any of my spell slots right now. But also, yay, memory stones! I have 3 memory slots now. Yay, memory stones. Anyways, where is... okay, so... No, not there. But we just kind of need to keep going all the way around this back edge. What time of day is it? It's early day, and it's raining. It would have been hilarious if I would have made the same mistake as the other player did. The one that I watched the bloodstain for. Sorry, Erdtree Avatar. I just, I'm awfully busy right now. I'll be coming back, though. I have plans, just not right now. Oh, I thought for sure there was a way off of the back. Oh, okay. That means I gotta go back down. I gotta go back down and then follow the shoreline over that way. screw it. Yeah, I'll go this way. Go this way. I need to get the map piece, but I'm pretty sure the map piece is up there nearby. The dragon, because he has the Glintstone Academy key. I'm also like fairly certain that I haven't grabbed the key yet, the Academy gate key. Where's tower? Sorry guys, I'm not hanging around. This reminds you? Okay. You remind me of the girl that I once knew. See your face whenever I love. Hey, you wouldn't believe all of the things she put me through. Ugh. This is why I just can't get with you. Oh, some more smithing stone 2s. I beg your pardon. I will not be fucking with thee. Not today, foul beast. One of arguably the hardest areas in the game for me was the Tower of Renala's Shard. Yeah. This one right here. It's the biggest problem with that area is that it's a huge platforming area. Like that's the biggest problem with that area. It's all platform. I won't say it's all platform. There's also like I think there's a Crucible Knight down there. Like there's some messy stuff down there, but most of that place's difficulty comes from the cuckoos. Most of that place, the difficulty comes from the platforming. For me personally, and I'm a little ashamed to say it, I have never beaten Melania, Goddess of Rot. I've never beat her. I've been in her area. I've never even been to her boss door. It's a bit shameful, I know. What was that? Vanishing someone who shoots you with his arrows that prevents you from jumping freely. Oh, yeah. Oh, you think that's bad? Oh, I don't have it unlocked yet. In the snow region, though. Yes, Melania Blade of Miquella. Miquella? I don't know if I'm saying that right. But yeah, that one. I've never been to her boss door before. I've been down there I've been in her area, but I've never Jellyfish shield. Ow. I've never beaten her though. I've never even fought her. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I've never fought her. Sadly. Okay. So I got that waypoint. That's the 4 belfries. I'm just coming over here for there's a map piece that I want. God damn it. Nope. Stop. I don't want to fight you. I don't know where they went, but she's really hard without summons. I've watched a lot of her videos of people fighting her, and from what I can tell, she's still pretty difficult even with both the game and the DLC that doesn't know how to pronounce. Look, man, words are hard, okay? Yeah, she's really hard without summons, but she's also really hard with summons because of her health recovery. Stuns. I think stuns are probably your best friend. She's also really fast, so she recovers from stuns quickly, so you kind of have to punish her. for me. I actually beat her on my second try with my summon on the first playthrough. Hell yeah. I beat my first playthrough with the Blasphemous Blade, full on faith strength build. My first playthrough I played like a bitch. I just wanted to have fun, you know? And the Mimic tier with a Blasphemous Blade strength faith build just freaking slaps. Like, it's insanely good. And insisted that I was skilled, but I don't believe him. Now that, I mean, that's pretty skilled to, like, I didn't even fight her on my first playthrough. I didn't even go and explore the area where she's at, the Consecrated Fields. I didn't even go and explore that area until my New Game Plus. And my friend was trying to beat the game, so I speedran the end of the game on my New Game Plus. I'm in New Game Plus 3 on my original character. I've never played her, and I've gotten my Elden Ring like 3 times now. Because I did it once with a different character and twice with my original character. But at the time, I just dodged and hit. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. I think one of the problem that a lot of people make with reading attacks is they get greedy. They think that they can get more hits than they actually can, so they end up staying in position longer than they should, and the boss punishes them for it. Especially whenever you have bosses that you can't stun, or like they have a high resistance to stun. That's why I'm going Lion's Claw. Lion's Claw does a bunch of poise damage. Like, it literally just slaps. Heck, I didn't know there was a follow-up to the special attack on the Flood. Oh. See, I knew that. But I'm a nerd. I watch a lot of videos. Like, I knew... I also am not a huge fan of the Bloodhound Fang. Like, I like the ability, but I never really got into it. It's a big weapon, so it feels kind of like, it feels a little bit against the grain to use a really big weapon for like really small, neat attacks. Like, it feels weird to have a heavy weapon like that. I can actually look at it. I should have it. Yeah. Bloodhound's Finesse. But look at the carry weight of this thing. It's freaking 11 pounds. My greatsword is 9. This is a dexterity weapon. This is a dexterity weapon. Why is it heavier than my greatsword? It's always maddened me. It's a good weapon. It's a good weapon. I don't really use it. I tried to build a build based around that weapon at one point, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the attack pattern. The only thing I liked about it was the bleed and the Ash of War. That swing forward and then dash back, or the swing forward and jump backwards on the first hit, and then the follow-up to dash forward and hit again. Great for proccing bleed. The Ash of War and the bleed on the Bloodhound's Fang are the best thing about it. But, like, other than that, I'm not a fan. Like, I can put a dagger in my offhand and get the Shadow Step ability, and I can be just as fast and agile with a full-blown Claymore with Lion's Claw on it and do more damage. The only exception to that being if it procs bleed, which it will. It will proc bleed. So, yeah, it's slow. It's slow, but it's good. It's good. Yeah, the Blasphemous Blade is an absolutely insane weapon. It's a fascinating game. It sure is. I love everything about this game. It is surprisingly agile for being such a big weapon, and it's got a decent swing speed. For as big a size it is, you would expect it to swing a little bit slower, but it's actually not bad. I'm just not a fan of the attack pattern. I like the Claymore because it has like a jab forward because it's a piercing weapon, so it's got good range. I can put a dagger with Shadow Step in my offhand and use Shadow Step to get around quickly, and then Lion's Claw shit. Like, it's good. It's just as good. The only thing it doesn't have is the bleed, and I can put bleed affinities if I find the whetstone for it. Special ability, I'd say. Additionally, additionally to how it's attacked, it's more dexterous. Yeah, the more dexterity you have in that, the more comfortable that weapon feels. You'll get your Ash of War off a little bit faster, and you can also couple it with spells because dexterity and magic work really well together. The bleed is slow to build up. It is kind of slow to build up, but if you put a few points into Arcane and you're using the Ash of War, and maybe you take like Alexander's Jar Shard to where you do more damage with your Ash of War, it can do good damage and it can proc it quickly. You can also combine it with spells like there's the Rotted Flies spell. You can use that one to proc bleed, or you can use that to build bleed and then hit them with the Ash of War from the Bloodhound's Fang, and you proc bleed so fast if you do some good combos with it. Cast speed for the Blood Flies is a little bit slow. I don't even know if I'm saying the proper name for that incantation, but now here's the thing, right? Alexander is a warrior jar, all right? I'm not suggesting that you go and kill him in the early game. It's only a 10% boost to the Ash of War, but later on in the game, he wants to test his mettle against a true warrior. And I'll be damned if I don't give him that satisfaction every time. I will, every time, accept his challenge. Because I think it is just insulting to kill him early as it is to deny him his valiant death in battle. The fact that he survives the Radahn fight, he has earned every bit of that request, and I will accept his challenge every time. Now, I never suggest killing him early. One, I think you're a heartless jerk if you kill him early. The only way you should be doing it is if you're min-maxing the hell out of the game, and I don't think it's worth it for you to min-max that hard. Like, I genuinely don't think it's worth it for you to min-max that hard. It's 10% bonus damage to your Ash of War if you kill him early. But if you find him later on and you complete his whole quest line, it's 15%, and he asks you to duel him in a warrior's combat. Like, he wants to die a warrior's death. So the first time, I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to kill him and stab him in the back. I'm not going to kill him just to pick a fight. I don't need the plus 10 Ash of War damage. I don't need it that bad. But the 15, and he's challenging me, I'll accept that every time. I'll accept it every time. Yeah, he has a questline. You find him the first time and knock him out of the hole. Then he meets you at Caelid and fights with Radahn. There's also the Gale Tunnel. If you go to the Gale Tunnel before the fight with Radahn, you have to go there before the festival starts. But if you go to the Gale Tunnel, he'll be there at the end of the tunnel. If you talk to him multiple times whenever you knock him out of the hole, he'll say he's going west. That's how he ends up in the Gale Tunnel. And then he ends up at the Radahn Festival. And then after that, you can meet him... you can meet him in the volcanoes area. There's a magma worm. I don't know if you've ever gotten the Comet Azure spell, but up the side of that mountain going towards the Comet Azure spell, you'll find a pit of lava, and there's a magma worm in there. And typically, depending on what stage of the game you are, you can find him there too, because after the Radahn fight, he goes to hot lava so that he can heat up his clay pot so that it can fix itself. Like, he's trying to repair his clay pot through lava immersion. And you can meet him there and talk to him there too. after that, he goes to the mountaintop. You can summon him at the fire giant to fight there. You can summon the jar shard for the fight with the fire giant, and then after that, his quest ends in Farum Azula after you set the tree on fire and you go to Farum Azula. There's a spot way out on the edge of Farum Azula on one of the floating pieces where if you can get to him, he'll tell you he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, but he now understands his place in the world. He doesn't think he'll ever be the greatest hero, but he thinks that you will be. And he challenges you to a fight because if he wins, it proves that he's a great warrior. But if he loses, he lost to a great warrior, and he takes pride in that fact. So he challenges you to a fight. It always breaks my heart to fight him there, but it's what he wants. He is a warrior jar. So his questline's actually really cool. It's a minor thing, and it's not like a fetch. It's really just talk to him a couple of different areas. I may have missed someplace else where he shows up, but he shows up in a couple of different places. You can talk to him at each of those places. Sometimes he'll give you a little bit of lore about the area. A lot of times he'll just tell you, I'm here, like with the magma worm, I'm here to, smelt my core back together before I'm on to my next adventure. So like it's really cool how they did Alexander. He probably has to be like one of my favorite characters in the game. It's like it's not even really a good comparison. Like there aren't too many other really good options there. He is a fantastic freaking character. I love it. Unfortunately, his talisman, the Alexander's Great Shard, is like the best you can get for boosting damage for Ash of Wars. If you're building a build that focuses on Ashes of War, then that's the way to go. You want his shard every time. We can't forget this tortoise. Oh, I love the Tortoise Pope. I love it. I actually, my first playthrough, I had read somewhere online. No, it wasn't somewhere online. It was something that the guy at the round table hold. He tells you that he doesn't want to learn certain spell books. He says it's because once you start looking into all of these spells and you start to understand these spells, you start to unravel the mysteries of the world, and it can drive a lot of people mad. But you can bring spell books to some of these guys and they'll teach you the spells. The only person who doesn't quote unquote go mad from, and I've never seen any of them go mad, I feel like it's the right thing to do because the Turtle Pope has enough of the blessing of the Erd Tree supporting him that he isn't corrupted by teaching you these spells. So you can bring him all of your spell tombs and he can teach you any spells, any incantations from these tombs. That's why I went to the Turtle Pope. My entire first playthrough, I did not teach any spell books to anybody except for the Turtle Pope. Because he's the only one who can handle that level of knowledge. Anybody else, it would corrupt them and destroy their minds. And the game says this much. Dude, I've done so much digging into this game, and I still find new stuff on a regular basis. They should have given him more. Yeah, I kind of wish they had, but at the same time, Alexander's story kind of mimics your own. He's on his own hero's journey. No, he's not chasing down, the Elden Ring, but there is the village of the Jars. I don't know if you've ever been to the village of the Jars. There's a young Jar there that wants to be a great hero like Alexander the Great Jar Shard. Or the Great Jar. So, like, he has many reasons for doing what he does. And the same way that you have your hero's journey, he has his hero's journey. He is the great Alexander Jar that hailed from this small village, consumed the bodies of the battlefield to make himself stronger, and now is a warrior in his own right. I think that it's fair that they didn't really give him a whole lot, because you see him in passing because he's on his own journey. And I think that makes sense. Like, you're going to come across him a couple of times, yeah, for sure. But you're not going to see him everywhere you go. And I would say, arguably, Alexander is probably one of the NPCs that you can find in the most areas. Like, he exists more than almost any other NPC in the game. Most of them, they move around, but most of them aren't, with the exception of some of the ones that just stay stationary. He has probably the most places visited. He has the most places that he shows up. And, like, there's not too many that beat him in this category. Almost every other NPC doesn't even really come close to the amount of traveling he just... No, I'm not invading. I'm just chatting right this minute. I've already done all of my invading. I need to get Maiden's Blood. I have something in my eye and it's irritating me. Hang on. I can't see. I can't see, and it's frustrating me. I'm pretty sure I got like an eyelash or something. I just gotta blinky. Maybe get a little bit of water. And see if I can... Blinky. Oh my goodness. Ah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it feels like I got an eyelash or something. Ah. That's terrible. Yeah, it's like in the corner of my eye. Go away. Ah. Are you good? Are we good? Can I open my eyes? Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna wash my face real fast. Okay. That, took me a little moment. Yeah, I looked in a mirror to see if I could, like, see anything. I didn't see anything, but I'm pretty sure it was, like, eyelid... Like, the eyelash had, like, rolled up under my eyelid, so I was, like, trying to wash off my face and kind of adjust my, eyelashes. See if I can get it to, like, fall out. don't know. Seems to be fine now. Okay. So, I gotta get the blood from the maiden, but the girl that I was gonna get it from down here, I messed up her quest, and I don't really feel like going over here, because I don't feel like trying to sneak past the Eye of Sauron so that I can kill the, like, 5 guys that are summoning the Madness Eye, so that I can come all the way up here to this church, because there's also an invasion, like, right here. That seems like a lot of work for the, that seems like a lot of work. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I don't know what it was, but, like, I guess an eyelash came loose, and I blinked it underneath my eyelid, so I had to, like, water my eye a little bit and kind of blink it out of the way. We're good, though. We're good. Hello there. Hello, jellies. Hi, guys. I'm staying off the road. You guys are so cute. Yep. Look at that big guy. There's another one that shows up here in a second, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Please don't shout. Please don't shout. Please don't shout. Okay, I think I'm good. Maybe. They like to do this shout thing at you. You know what I'm talking about? Like, where they send that gust of wind after you, and it always knocks me off my horse. By the way, not too long ago, I started reading the original Jurassic Park. Oh, nice. Very good. It's amazing. So much more than the movie had offered. Okay, hell yeah. I don't really read as much as I should anymore. But I remember reading Jurassic Park when I was a lot younger. But it has been some years since Jurassic Park. Alright. Oh, I want to kill the Grafted Scion, but I only have 7 runes, so it doesn't really matter if I lose them. Any books you read? So the last thing I read, so don't make fun of me, but the last thing I read was one of the Twilight books. I kind of liked that book series. They were much better than the movie. The movie was a disappointment. I also have the full set from the Harry Potter series, and I've read the first 3 last year. I was working on them. I haven't read anything this year. Lost your mind entirely. Yeah. Man, I liked the books. You know, I read them back in high school. And I had an opportunity. So me and a friend like to read, and sometimes whenever I've got the free time and everything, we like to do like kind of book club, where we would read a book and we talk about it as we go through the chapters and everything. You know, it wasn't so much of the romance that really drew me to Twilight. It was the way that the character is painted as kind of like an outcast, you know. Isabella Swan is so for Twilight, Isabella Swan is a clumsy, kind of a recluse, fairly intelligent person that just doesn't feel like she fits in with the rest of society. When she meets actual vampires, falls in love with one, and, you know, it kind of paints this picture of, like, I was never meant to be a human, I was always meant to be a vampire, which is kind of a romanticized idea, but it's more about the loneliness that she felt and becoming a vampire, because she didn't feel normal as a human, and she felt normal and accepted by vampires, so she became a vampire in the later book. For Harry Potter, it scratches that itch of fantasy. You know, The Boy Who Lived, right? But not just that. Like, whenever we're young, a lot of people like the idea of magic and fantasy and dragons, and you know, the school of Hogwarts had that. They had the fantasy, they had the, you know, they had the fantasy, they had the you know, the magic that inspired a lot of people's childhoods. So, like, I understand it. I was also a pretty decent fan of Hogwarts, you know, Harry Potter, but that was me. It's not for everybody, you know. I like fantasy. It's why I love Elden Ring so much. It's high fantasy, fighting dragons with magic powers and being able to cast sorceries and incantations while also wielding a sword and having a full set of knight armor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it tickles that fantasy, right? So one thing that you may not know, so one of the interesting things about it, but it makes it unique from other fantasies like Lord of the Ring and Hobbit. Yes. Yeah. Because, like, so for, like, the Lord of the Rings, right? They were supposed to be the saviors of all of the people, right? Stopping Sauron and the big bad evil guy from taking over the world and bending everyone to his will and enslaving all of the, right? Like, it was saving the world. That's what Lord of the Rings was. And The Hobbit was, you know, just a childlike whimsy version of everything that the hobbits and you know, all of the races that worked with the hobbits, all of their part, the part that they played in leading up to the defeat of the big bad evil from Lord of the Rings. So the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings kind of tie in together quite a bit. So it's along the same vein, but where Harry Potter differs a little bit is that it's just about the magical world. They're not supposed to show the real world magic, right? They have to hide the fact that they can cast spells. They have to, you know, they have to get licenses to practice magic in public. They have to show that they understand that showing people what magic is changes people's point of view of the world. So it feels almost like a secret society, and they're not really about saving the world. It's more about saving the wizarding world, because if Voldemort wanted to take over the world, yeah, maybe, but unlike Sauron from the Lord of the Rings, Lord Valdi has little to no interest in taking over the whole world. He wants revenge. He wants power. He doesn't care about humans. He doesn't want to enslave humanity. He doesn't give a rat's ass about any human that exists in that series. He only cares about wizard kind, goblins, the magical world, because that's where true power, at least in his eyes, is. So the whole world revolves around that wizard fantasy, right? That's the only real key difference between them. Lord of the Rings, you've got your big bad evil guy that wants to take over the whole world. He wants everyone to suffer. He wants to enslave humanity and all other creatures that exist. All beasts and bestiaries that exist. Voldemort just doesn't feel like that. He wants power, and he's not willing to enslave mankind for it. He would rather kill all of mankind than enslave them. He doesn't care about them at all. And I would say that's kind of the biggest difference, I would think, between the two. But they're still both definitely high fantasy. It plays into that quite a bit. I mean, goblins, you know, kind of like dwarves, they were miners and collectors of gold. That's why the goblins control Gringotts Bank in the Harry Potter Harry Potter universe, because that's what goblins are known for in that universe, whereas dwarves aren't really talked about in Harry Potter, but they are really big in Lord of the Rings. Gimli is a household name for anybody who knows anything about Lord of the Rings. I'd say you think about Harry Potter is because it's all students in a school with awesome events, twisted characters. Yeah. It's also meant to appeal to a younger audience, right? Like, where Lord of the Rings is straight up D&D. Lord of the Rings is just a D&D campaign. Like, you have a group of adventurers that have to work together to take down the big bad evil, right? Harry Potter is more about friendship and, you know, surviving our high school years. And, you know, I would say definitely look through the movies if you enjoyed the first one. They get better. Like, I would say arguably the Harry Potter movies, you know, a lot of times whenever they serialize movies and you get like a part 1, a part 2, like we're up to like Fast 6 or Fast 7 right now for the Fast and Furious series. I would say arguably they really lost me at Fast and Furious 3 or 4. Like, Tokyo Drift was actually, I think, one of the last ones I had any interest in seeing for the Fast and Furious series. Everything else beyond that was just fluff to me. I don't give a shit. I don't care about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dude's fucking ego is so insane. Like, he has an actual living contract that says he can't lose a fight in any movie he's in. Like, what kind of douchebag piece of shit has such a contract in place where he literally can't lose a fight? Jason Statham has a very similar contract for all the stuff he's worked on. Like, it's such a douchebag thing to have. Like, I don't like the guy. I don't like him. And what he did to Black Adam was an affront to superheroes. He destroyed that character and then wondered why people didn't come to see the movie. Tokyo Drift was great, though. Tokyo Drift was great. Once they started getting too far into the series, they killed it. I would say, though, with Harry Potter, the series doesn't really fall off too much as it goes in. Like, it wraps up the story. They do it pretty well. I think Harry Potter's movie series, it doesn't fall off, you know? And, like, a lot of stuff falls off. People lose interest and shit like that. Dwayne has pretty much acted himself for a bit too long. Yes, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does not play other characters in movies. He plays himself with different names. Like, whatever movie he's in, it's just Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing himself. It is... God, go back to wrestling, dude. Like, go back to wrestling. That's all I'm saying on that. I don't like the guy. I don't even like watching him. He's not entertaining. He has the same face and attitude in everything he plays. Yes, they have standing contracts that say in major fights they are not allowed to lose. In the movies, the Fast and Furious series, the one in particular, Hobbs and Shaw, that one featured both Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham. They both have standing contracts to where they don't lose fights. You know what they did for most of that movie? All of their fights came to a draw. Or they got third-partied on almost all of their fights, or at least on some of their fights. They got third-partied by another person, and they had to work together to take that person down, and then by the end of it, they're just standing there huffing and breathing like, oh, man, all right, so we call this one right now, right? Yeah, we'll settle this later. Yeah, watch the movie. Yeah, like, the fights are atrocious. They're, and I get that, like, the fights and stuff are, like, they're choreographed stuff, But like, guys, your ego is so damn big, you can't even get past yourself to make a decent movie. You want to know what the worst part about that is? I know how that movie played out. I know a bit of detail about how their contracts kind of work. Not a whole bunch, but I know a little bit. What's funny is, I've never seen that movie. I have never seen Hobbs and Shaw. But I can tell you how most of their fights end, because I know how their contracts work. I know how the massive ego these guys have. They're wholeheartedly predictable. And it makes them bad actors. Like, it makes them terrible actors. I don't want to see a hero that never loses a fight. Like, look at what they did with John Wick. Like, that guy had some insane fights. He definitely lost some fights, though. Now, he didn't die, but he had good fights where you felt like he might lose, or there were times where he got the shit beat out of him, and maybe somebody come and saved him or something. Like, he doesn't have a standing contract where he doesn't lose fights. So for John Wick, the guy lost some fights. And you know what? John Wick benefited from that so well. You could see his battle scars and everything. Compare that to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who basically in every scene is him standing there in a t-shirt that's way too tight, slathered in baby oil. Just a student of some culture, man. Just a student of some culture. That's all it is. Just a student of some culture. I did want to say one thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you look at the this shrine in front of me, so you put stone sword keys in these things to unlock them. I love watching Keanu Reeves. So you put stone sword keys. This one in particular has a darker blue color and it kind of glows with magic a little bit because you need a special type of stone sword key. It's an imbued stone sword key, and you'll see it here in a second when it removes it from my inventory. But something you may not know, all of these statues require 2 stone sword keys. Something that the game doesn't tell you. However, if you look on these statues, the bottom one has a stone sword key already in it. The top one doesn't. So whenever I activate it, I'm going to put a stone sword key in the top. But there are some on the map where you have to put in 2 stone sword keys. This is why. All of them require 2 stone sword keys. Most of them just have one already in it. That's a cool little thing, right? I always thought that was so cool because, like, they don't really explain this in great detail or anything. But if you look closely, they actually have a stone sword key already in the bottom one. It's so cool. It is so cool. He may not be the best actor, but he's up there, top 10. So I really like Keanu Reeves. I would say he's probably not like the greatest actor or anything like that. But he's definitely up there in my opinion of some of the greats. And you know, I don't know if you know what typecasting is. But Keanu Reeves gets typecast a lot. Unfortunately, because of this, and this happens to a lot of actors, when you get typecast like that, they expect you to be or present yourself in a specific way. For Keanu Reeves, it kind of means that he's basically the same character in everything he plays. But he's still a good actor. He's not quite as universal as some actors and actresses have shown to be in the past. Keanu Reeves has done some stuff where, like, I think it was Dazed and Confused, or there was another one that he did where it was a comedy, and he did good, but he plays the same character in that comedy as he does in The Matrix. He's just not a stoner in The Matrix. He's still the confused young hero archetype. Like, And there's nothing wrong with that, but he gets typecast a lot because of it. I don't even know how good his range is, because we've never seen him have a huge range. He plays a lot of the same character, but he does so well, and it doesn't feel like he's just... It doesn't feel like he's trying to be the same person over and over again. It feels like he's playing the part, which is more than I can say for Dwayne. It was an explanation for some stone keys are as valuable as double stone. Yeah, that makes more sense if it's doubled versus a single, more valuable. But he did pretty well before he had the John Wick cold feeling, like in Devil's Advocate. So he can do emotional acting too. He just plays kind of a character archetype, and it's pretty common to see that same character archetype in a lot of his stuff. He gets typecast a lot, but he can play emotions fairly well, like in Devil's Advocate. Like he does well. Constantine, he's consistent. Yeah. From what I've seen, he's a genuinely nice person. Just a chill, down to earth dude. Kind of like the character he played in Dazed and Confused. I think it was Dazed and Confused that he played that. That he played that character, kind of a stoner. Might have been Dude, Where's My Car? Maybe. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's gonna come to me right now, but he does good. He's consistent, but he's a nice guy. He's humble, and he has oh, I forgot. I have to actually defeat this boss in order to get up there to the Chapel of Anticipation, in order to get the damn blood that I need. All right. Well, let's go get revenge. This is still easier than messing with the Madness Eye of Sauron. He isn't in Dazed and Confused. Okay, it's got to be another one. I think it might have been Dude, Where's My Car? I know that one had Ashton Kutcher in it, but the other guy might have been Keanu Reeves. And he has the same, and it's funny, because it is a different character, but he has this confused stoner look in so many movies. I remember seeing it in The Matrix, Matthew McConaughey, and Ben Affleck. That one was Dazed and Confused. Okay. Yeah, because Matthew McConaughey was the one that, I keep getting older, but they stay the same age. Because he's talking about high school girls. And he's like, I love high school girls. I keep getting older, but they stay the same age. Ha 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 ha. Fucking Matthew McConaughey. I really like Ben Affleck too. As an actor. I think he's got broad range. I would say I wasn't too big of a fan of him as Batman. But that's just probably because I'm not a fan of Batman. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey with that line was fucking killed me when he... I love me some schoolgirls. I keep getting older. They stay the same age. Ha ha ha. Some wild shit. I like Ben Affleck. I just didn't... I don't know why. I wasn't a fan of him as Batman. And I do think that... All right. Yeah. Matthew McConaughey is a good one. But Ben Affleck, I think the only reason I didn't like him as Batman is because I'm just not a big fan of Batman. And I don't believe that either, because... I've seen other Batmen that I did like. Christian Bale was a good one. I liked Christian Bale. Alright. It's time to run these hands, my boy. Okay. You right. God damn. Alright. Hang on. Oh, shit. Okay, I got stuck on something. You calm down, sir. I just want to heal. This is what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna do that. God damn. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay. Oh god. Nope, 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 nope. You bitch. Don't worry, bitch. I got you. Give me just a second. I can't read chat just yet. Ow, fuck. And he's fast. Nope. Oh. Ow. Shit. You son of a bitch. If I could just get a few more good hits, I've got it. Oh my god. For the love of everything holy. Woo. Yeah? Gotcha, bitch. Fucking lion's claw. Eat my ass. Minnie complained about his voice to me, but it's very normal. She's not the best Batman voice, but far from bad. I mean, the voice wasn't really the issue for me, but maybe that was a factor. Like, maybe it just felt off. I also am not a big fan of Batman, so I do think that may have played into it a little bit. I got a little bit of a bias against Batman. And I have a similar problem with Iron Man. Like, your superpower is fucking trust funds. Like, I'm sorry, I don't value you. And Iron Man was a cool hero. I think his abilities as an intelligence is on par with the Batman. But yet Batman, for the longest time, had way more attention than Iron Man. It wasn't until Robert Downey Jr. kind of took up the mantle and really pushed Iron Man into the mainstream that Iron Man really took off as like a force to be reckoned with, you know? Classic Batman that many followed. Yeah. And Christian Bale did something a little bit different. Which a lot of people wanted to live up to what Batman is. And in my personal opinion, Adam West was the best Batman to ever do it. Adam West. My favorite Batman. I don't even like Batman. But, you know, I mean, I like to see some different stuff. I like to see some experimentation, and I love an artist who loves their craft. And for Ben Affleck, I think he's just an artist that loves his craft. Like, Ben Affleck has put more time and effort into a lot of the stuff he makes than most actors do their entire careers. They just ran straight to the cliff, huh? Why are you just... Yep. Gotta love the blood stains of animosity there. Yeah, the worst part about that grafted Scion, he gives shit for XP. Absolute trash. Alright, but I did get Maiden's Blood. So now let's go back and... I would say a lot of people, one of the biggest problems with all of the Batmans kind of doing like the same thing, and it's okay, but I think the biggest problem with it is that everybody was trying to live up to what the image of the previous Batman, right? They wanted to live up to the stories and the tales of the Batman, the Dark Knight. And I think that's where a lot of people ended up failing the character, because they were, so blinded by what they were trying to do artistically and what they were trying to do with character, that they couldn't see that Batman was he's another character. He's another hero. And yet many different versions of many different types of heroes and characters in movies and in other forms of media, comics, and stuff like that. But everyone tried to be the same Batman for literally years. People got bored with it. I'm surprised that Batman still does as well as it does. I mean, look at Superman. Superman's in the same category. Everybody wants to do what Superman did. Christopher Reeves, the original Superman,
A knight who will assist
Oh no, you're good. I don't think I've ever talked about my favorite superhero.
Now, give me your finger.
But my favorite superhero,
Immutable badge of honor
it's actually Dr. Manhattan.
inside of you.
I like Superman more than Batman, but I don't like Superman or Batman. They're just mainstream. They're just mainstream story hogs. Dr. Manhattan is a character from the Watchmen universe. And if you looked at the DC Rebirth, which is the new stuff that they did for DC, the DC Rebirth was basically built off of the concept of Dr. Manhattan basically rebuilding the world. So at the end of the Watchmen movie, he says, maybe I'll create some life. And it is heavily hinted in the DC Rebirth that Dr. Manhattan wanted to create a new world where there were actual superheroes, real superhuman heroes. The reason why he wanted that was because he was the first superhuman to exist in his universe, in the Watchmen universe. And because of his level of power, and because everybody wanted so much from him, they looked at him like a god. They thought that he was the only person that could save the world. And Dr. Manhattan was like, I don't care about this world. It's too much responsibility. But what if there were people like me that did care about humanity, that did have the same type of power as I do, that were actually superhuman? So the theory behind the DC Rebirth is that he essentially recreated the universe, and it became one of the DC universes. Which is why DC Rebirth exists, because Dr. Manhattan wanted to create a world where superhumans existed to save humanity. So, from that universe's perspective, Dr. Manhattan basically created superheroes because he was tired of being the only superhero, and he realized that being the only superhero in a world full of people that idolize you is damaging to your own psyche. It's too much responsibility. So he created superheroes. Multiple. And that's kind of the whole thing behind the DC Rebirth. Watchmen was kind of a separate thing of the darkest timeline of superheroes, right? They don't actually exist. Rorschach, Night Owl, Silk Spectre, all of the heroes from that universe are vigilantes. They don't have superpowers. They're basically all just Batman. In fact, Night Owl is the rich version of Batman, whereas Rorschach is the poverty-stricken version of like Batman. He's intelligent, he's a detective, he's quick, fast thinking. He is everything Batman is without the money. Whereas Night Owl is a bunch of gadgets. He's intelligent, but he's also got a bunch of money, and he built a spacecraft modeled after an owl. If you've never seen the Watchmen movie, I highly recommend it. I actually, whenever we lost internet for like a week a few months ago, actually I think it was like at the end of December,
One day, right, my lamb?
when we lost internet, I had to watch DVDs on my Xbox because it was the only source of entertainment that I had. I put on Watchmen, and I watched Watchmen on loop for like 2 days. It is such a good movie because I don't know if you've ever seen Fight Club, but I really like movies that don't have the like quote unquote happy ending, right? Even the happiest of ending in the Watchmen universe ends with certain people dead, a catastrophe that was blamed on somebody else, and basically the entire world being held up by the idea of a lie. And that's how the world is moving forward at that point. I don't want to give away a whole bunch because it'll kind of ruin the story. But okay, you did watch Fight Club. So in Fight Club, great movie. In Fight Club, it ends with kind of a good ending where like he gets the girl, but he goes through serious trauma to get where the place that he is, right? It's not the hero's ending. It's not Superman and his cape flowing in the wind with his hands on his belt line and his chest puffed out as like a hero. It's a human that's broken and fell to the deepest part of humanity. And instead of being saved or helped by humanity, he was kicked around. And he found a different way to cope. He ended up, realizing he's schizophrenic and everything. But what does he do when he realizes that? He takes control. He realizes that he has the ability to change things. Because the whole movie was him fighting against control. Everybody's got control but me. The world is against me. But he was a narcoleptic schizophrenic. He fell asleep. So he was narcoleptic, but he was also insomniac. He couldn't sleep, but when he did fall asleep, he changed, and it went into a psychotic episode of him becoming Tyler Durden. Split personality and all that. It touched on some very serious, dark issues with him trying to basically bring down the corruption and structure of society, because in his eyes, he saw it as the evil of the world that's keeping me down. But by the time he gets to the end of the movie, what does he realize? The world isn't the evil thing keeping me down. I am. I'm the evil thing slowing me down. I'm responsible for my own actions. Like, yeah, he gets the girl, but it's not a heroic ending. It's a come to Jesus meeting. It's a slap in the face to everything you thought you knew about reality. And it's the narrator, because they don't ever actually say his name. Edward Norton was the guy who played him. But it's a slap in the face to realize that everything you thought was true. The secret society that you had built, the pleasure and relief that you had created for so many people, that whole idea was him fighting against the man, fighting against the system. And then to realize the system's not the problem, right? But the system was also part of the problem. The system failed him. Because when he started having symptoms, everybody basically had the idea of be a man, which is how Fight Club is born, right? Be a man. Fight it out. Be a man. So it took the idea of what society does to young men, twists it, and says, you want us to be men? Fine, we'll be men. We'll take it. It's ours. And then they took it a step further. Society is corrupted. We'll take it. It's ours. So what did they do? They brought down the credit card companies. They brought down the existing structures of the world. So all of that to basically say that that movie ends in a poetic but not heroic way. It is a natural conclusion to a series of unfortunate events. And Watchmen follows that same mentality. It is a series of unfortunate events. It is a tragic is the right word there. It is a tragic story. Watchmen is a tragic story of how the corruption of the world meets the people who want to help it and then find out that they can't. And it's the power struggle, it's the wanting of change, and it's the realizing that you yourself are part of the problem. So it's that twist, you know? 100%, if you enjoyed Fight Club, go watch Watchmen. Promise you will like it. I love superheroes that don't have happy endings. Watchmen does not give any of the superheroes happy endings. None of them are happy endings. Tragedies are 100% a genre in itself. Tragedies built most of our like early philosophy and like plays and stuff. They were written in the form of a tragedy. Odysseus, I may be saying that one wrong, but that is a Greek tragedy. So like 100%, it is a genre that goes back hundreds, thousands of years. It is probably one of the oldest forms of entertainment. Tragedy in itself is probably one of the oldest forms of entertainment. Oedipus Rex, yes. Straight up, anything with Oedipus in it is automatically a tragedy. Poor guy wanted to fuck his mom so bad. Oedipus had many problems. Many problems. Oedipus was fucked in the head. Oh, that kills me. But yeah, you know, tragedy is one of the oldest forms of let's talk about that. I mean, another great comparison though, right? Look at God, I'm blanking. Icarus. The story of Icarus, who created wax wings, right? And it was Icarus and his father told him not to fly too close to the sun because what? Wax melts. Well, what did he do? Icarus flew too close to the sun, his wings melted, and he died. Yeah. Oedipus is a whole other thing all of itself. The idea that basically every man wants to fuck their mother, which is why we try to find life mates and partners that mimic our mothers. It goes more towards evolution. And you think, biologically speaking, if our mothers survive long enough to carry us to birth and be able to have children, biologically speaking, a similar build and type of woman would be able to carry another child to birth. It's an evolutionary thing. It has nothing to do with us wanting to fuck our mothers. It's just the same way that young girls will look up to their fathers as role models for the men that they fall in love with, because those men have been proven to be strong and supportive in, you know, most cases where that is the ideal man to them. It's not necessarily that they want to fuck their fathers. It just has more to do with evolution. That man has been proven to be strong and resilient, and that's your role model for a man. So of course you're going to find something similar in your mating partner. It's an evolutionary thing. Oedipus has his own complex. Dude had some serious issues, thinking everybody wanted to fuck their mothers, but dude was like, I could just imagine the conversation where Oedipus is like, I get it now. Everyone wants to fuck their mothers. And the other people in the room that are talking to Oedipus, they're just like, no, that's just you, buddy. That's really just you. I promise it's really just you, Oedipus. Nobody here wants to fuck their mothers. It's just you, buddy. Like, everybody's trying to, no. And Sigmund Freud actually touched a lot on that as well. It's something that legally we call it carnal knowledge, which is basically the knowledge or the knowledge of the act of sexual intercourse. It's called carnal knowledge by the legal definition. And you can thank Freud for that, because Freud simply put, basically that people have deep and dark desires, and they control our everyday interactions, and they change our behaviors and our reactions. The mentality is there. Like, there's a lot of Sigmund Freud's research that actually does hold some water. However, I think that much like Oedipus, Sigmund Freud was really reaching as far as like trying to discover humanity's flaws, and I think a lot of his reaching was simply because of his own mindset and his own state of mind of like, this is why people are like this, da 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 da. Like, it had a lot more to do with himself than it had to do with, and there's scientific backing for some of his stuff too. It's just not everything that Sigmund Freud said has been, supported by the current existing. Ow! Goddamn! Ow! Not everything Sigmund Freud has been accepted by the community as just the word of law, but it is widely accepted in some aspects of how the information was used, and it did kind of form a lot of how we view like psychology and stuff today. Well-known tragedies. From the definition, it seems like any normal definition of what makes carnal knowledge special. So carnal knowledge is really just the definition from a legal standpoint. As one should shit on Freud. Freud had a handful of good ideas that led to a field of science where we've expanded on it quite a bit, but Sigmund Freud was a lost cause. What makes carnal knowledge special? So, the only thing really special about carnal knowledge is just it's essentially the legal definition. Because saying sexual intercourse in a courtroom is kind of frowned upon. Carnal knowledge is basically just the knowledge of the carnal needs of human beings, and it is in reference to sexual intercourse or sexual interactions. So like it's kind of just encompassing the knowledge of how sexual intercourse works. They use it. They use it for cases where they talk about the R word, where people have intercourse forced upon them. They use carnal knowledge basically to describe that this person knew what they were doing. They understood what the knowledge and everything that entails. They understood it, and they still proceeded with their actions. It is meant to give basically an example of. It is meant to basically give an example of the human knowledge of what we see as just normal thing. It's got a bad connotation, a little bit, yeah. It's just because carnal knowledge is such an easier thing, and it's a simplified way of saying it in courtroom settings. Because we have many different ways to say it: sexual assault, sexual gratification. There's a lot of different ways to frame it, but in the interest of simplification and having a broad definition, they have basically legally summed it up to just carnal knowledge. At least for the United States, that's a legal definition. Other countries may look at it as slightly different, but for the United States, they look at it as carnal knowledge. Because if, say, for instance, in the instance of somebody who was underage, maybe, they would say that the adult would have carnal knowledge. They understand how the world works. They understand how that process of sexual intercourse works. They understand this, and they still force it upon somebody who did not understand it. So they would use that as that kind of a definition. So it does have kind of a bad connotation with it, but that's mostly because of the setting that it's used in. It's used in context with other things in the legal system. So yeah, it's got kind of a bad connotation, and it's not really deserved. It's just the phrasing, you know. That's how it works. Learned something new today. Yeah, I like learning things. I go on tangents quite frequently where I just watch YouTube videos about different topics, and I love cross-referencing topics to find other topics that are similar topics, and just I have fun. Just learning stuff. Thank goodness I don't have to worry about all of this. I mean, as long as you don't have to worry about the court system in that way, you shouldn't ever really have to worry about it. It's not... Carnal knowledge is not something a lot of people really think about, because it's not something that most people have to deal with. Most people aren't going into the court system. You think about the way that they have to write it down. A stenographer has to copy down word for word everything that goes on in the courtroom. It's simplified to say carnal knowledge. Everything else beyond that is just kind of encompassed in that one particular phrasing. Apparently the Americans, with all due respect, we have real good safety. Yeah, you know, we have good safety as long as you're inside your own home. Because everybody's got guns. Everybody's got guns in America. I love information. I'll never be in the situation where that'll be useful, but, I don't know if you know what's going on with Diddy right now, but a lot of the stuff that goes along with everything that's going along with Diddy right now, the phrase age of consent has been tossed around a few times. Drake, the rapper Drake, it's been thrown around with him a little bit too. Age of consent, because each state has their own age of consent. And that is kind of leaning into a little bit of the carnal knowledge aspect of the legal system. If you're younger than age of consent, it is commonly understood that if you are younger than that, you don't technically understand carnal knowledge. You don't really understand the aspects that come in and out of that whole process. But did bro invite Diddy to the street? No, this is a Diddy free zone. I thought it was a pretty good performance. I think something that he said during the Super Bowl really kind of hit with me, and it's basically that art can save your life, but media entertainment never will. And then he kind of goes off into TV off. The only way that you'll truly be saved by art is if you turn the TV off and go outside. That was kind of the message that Kendrick was giving off, from what I understand, from what I've seen of it. The performance was good. A lot of people in the United States hated the performance, and I think it's because they didn't understand it. He's literally telling you, stop buying into everything the media has to say. turn your TV off, go outside. And I genuinely think that the people who didn't like the performance, either they didn't understand what the topic was talking about, or they didn't like what the topic was talking about. They were smart enough to understand it, but didn't like it, or they weren't smart enough to understand it. Oh yeah, there was a remarkable... there's a part where Samuel L. Jackson plays Uncle Sam, and there's a part where he plays a song or something, and then after the song, he tells him, nah, Kendrick, you can't do that. You gotta do the safe stuff. Deduct 1 life. And they were comparing it like a video game, where when you do something wrong or you make a mistake, it can cost you your life in a video game. And they're basically telling him, deduct 1 life, because in the stage that he's created, he said something or did something that the people didn't quote-unquote like. So deduct 1 life. That's actually something that during the performance, Samuel L. Jackson, who played Uncle Sam, says on the stage. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam was great. And he's a great actor. Motherfucker! But no, he literally mentions deduct a life from the video game quote-unquote lives that Kendrick had during the performance. Deduct a life. So it's basically like, you got to play the game the way that we want you to play the game, otherwise you lose a life. And they're paralleling video games, which if you look, the stage was actually designed like a video game controller. They're comparing the real life world to the events of how people behave in video games, right? The system is a game, but if you act a specific way, you lose a life. If you act the correct way, you're playing it safe. People don't like it when you play it safe. People don't like it when you step out of line. People want you to behave like this. People want you to behave like that. I love the hidden messages and details and all of that. And like I said, I think people who were mad about it, they were either not smart enough to understand what was going on, or they were smart enough to understand it and they didn't like the message. Because they didn't like the comparison that their life was a video game being controlled by somebody else that they can't do shit about it. They don't like not having the control. Turn the TV off. I think that was a great song to wrap up that performance. I'm pretty sure he played that as the last song. It's been a few days since I've looked at the performance, but turn the TV off. It's kind of his little wrap up there. Turn it off. Go outside. Learn. Get enveloped in art. I like how to deliver the message there. I think they did good. I think they did really good with that. I will say this, though. I am kind of done on Elden Ring for today. I'm fixing to just start farming birds. I don't have a lot of gold pickle fowl feet. I do know some spots where I can hunt down four-toed fowls and gold fireflies. Let's see. I believe... No, not there. Here... There's some golden fireflies. Let's see. Farm ingredients. And then over here on the beach, there's a bunch of birds. Here we go. And put 2 map markers there. And then we're gonna mark this one so I can come back to it later. And then gonna mark this one so I can come back to it later. Yeah, I remember the crowd lit up with the game over too. Bro, like, they knew what they were doing. It was, I want to say it was subliminal messaging, but it wasn't even that subliminal. It was in your face. They were stating out loud what they were doing. They told you the entire time. The whole bit with Uncle Sam, they are directly telling you what they're doing on the stage. They're telling you everything. It's a game. Don't play it that way. Be the nice Kendrick. Be the kind guy. Do the thing. Do the thing that everybody wants you to do. Otherwise, you lose a life. Oh, it's game over. Like, it was kind of subliminal messaging, but it wasn't. They were very obvious about it. They weren't trying to be subliminal about it. Not this farming. So what level am I at? I'm at 41 right now. I finally got enough to use the staff. The unfortunate thing is the main spell that I want to use, Night Comet, and I don't have the attributes for it because it's 38 intelligence, so I have to level up, let's see, 24, 34, I need to level up another 24 times, so I need to hit 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. No, I need to hit level 66. It's funny because like all the talking and stuff I'm doing, I'm not really speed running, but like I use some speed run tactics and stuff. I'm just pretty good at getting around the game. Like I've gotten better about learning certain routes. I use pins. Like this one, I want to go here and get the Lion's Claw Ash of War. I have a Claymore that has the Ash of War on it, but you know, I learned a lot about the map. I get around pretty easily. It's very late. Gotta go. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, I plan on ending my stream whenever I got to this point. Because I really just wanted to get to this point on stream, and then I'm gonna farm. Like the whole point of this was just to show people how to get here. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, I should be back on tomorrow. I want to try and get my my night all the way built up to the point where I can actually use the Night Comet sorcery and whatnot. Like I want to get to the point where I have enough endurance to hold all the weapons I want and the stats to be able to use them. I'm using mostly the Lion's Claw, but still, like I want to get to the point where I can use the Night Comet because it's so good. Just AI doesn't dodge it. They don't know how to dodge it. Good luck and good night. Yes, sir. Have a good night, Spino. I appreciate you coming through, man. Hopefully, I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll probably be running Liurnia, so maybe Renala tomorrow. If I can get to the point where I can use Night Comet, and my warrior build should fuck Renala pretty good. So, tomorrow will be a fun day. I'll have to set up and be ready for Renala. But you have a good night, man. I'm really glad you stopped by. I love these conversations. Always love it when you're here, man. Come on, little birdie. You got that. And I think it's gonna take so much to level up. I needed to be 38, and it's gonna slow down, but I gotta hit level 66. Gotcha, bitch. Well, I thought he wasn't gonna fall off for a second there. First off, sniping spot. In short, visions of bird. Let's see, if these guys had some glowing yellow eyes, I'd take their bitch asses out too. I want to see though. Golden rune. You gonna come over here? Nah, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that smoke. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself and go back to run a few more hands of this. Just do a little bit of grinding here, but I'm gonna end my stream shortly. If you stopped in, I really appreciate you. Do the like, follow, and subscribes, and all those things that make the YouTube algorithms happy, because they make me happy too. Absolutely love it. My subscriber count is coming up, and I'm almost to 100. So I'm really excited. This is coming out to be a pretty good year for me. I plan on doing a lot more stuff as far as editing work on some of my videos that I've already streamed, and I've also got a couple of things that I've recorded on my computer that I have saved right now that I want to go back through and maybe look through and edit. I may start a new project. I haven't decided yet, but this is the year of practicing my editing. So I'm hoping to see a lot of action there, and I'm hoping to see a lot of personal growth in something that I just enjoy doing. But if you like it, do all the things that makes the YouTubes happy, and I will catch you next time.
shackle. Unusual this. Have a safe